Since Russia's invasion began in 2014, Ukraine's military has transformed from an underfunded and ill-equipped service into a modern, powerful fighting force. With over 200,000 military personnel and millions of dollars in investment, Ukraine now is one of Europe's largest armies. While Russian hybrid forces continue sporadic attacks in the country's east, more Ukrainian troops are being trained in NATO standards to protect Ukraine's sovereignty for years to come. History, hardware, and heroism. Welcome to Ukraine in uniform. The identity of these highly skilled warriors is unknown. Their faces are hidden. They are confident and determined. The men are in the top physical form. They are universal soldiers who are ready for any mission. These fighters have mastered every weapon and are trained to use psychological techniques to influence people. Who are the Ukrainian Commandos and how did they get to be where they are? Find out next. The Commandos are the best of the best. Most soldiers dream of joining this elite unit. Naturally, it is not that easy to get into this squad, because the physical and mental skills of Special Forces soldiers are unique. Every type of military has their own elite special unit. Every Special Forces unit has its own selective criteria. All of them have one thing in common. Only people who know what they want are able to join. A recruit joins the Ukrainian Commandos because they love their country and are ready to make the ultimate sacrifice in order to defend it. Almost every recruit is smart, dependable, and capable. These people must use critical thinking in stressful combat scenarios. A person makes the decision they are ready to learn, practice, and be willing to die for their country, no matter how corny that might sound. A candidate for the Commandos or Special Forces unit must pass a rigorous selection process. Not everyone has the strength and determination to withstand all the tests. Many years of work, excellent physical shape, and good health, along with mental toughness, are some of the most important ingredients for successful entry into the Ukrainian Special Forces. To serve in the military, a candidate must be physically fit and think fast. For a recruit to become a member of the Commandos, they need to have these same skills, but to a much higher degree. Special Forces soldiers are versatile and well-rounded. They are physically fit, educated, and low-key. They're also excellent shooters, trained in psychology, a reliable teammate, and a patriot. Every day, soldiers train in martial arts, marksmanship, and war tactics. They improve their agility, endurance, and reaction speed. Preparation for the Special Forces is intense, hard work, because recruits must always be prepared. The specifics for the selection of Special Forces is different in every branch of the armed forces. For example, soldiers within the special divisions of the Marine Corps and maritime border guards must be able to swim and dive. They must be able to perform combat missions in the open sea, climb aboard captured sea tankers, and intercept enemy vessels violating the border. Marine fighters must conquer the sea, land, and air. Parachute drops are challenging missions every soldier must engage in. Unit commanders oversee every mission and provide support for recruits. Our department is very unique. We are not just border guards. We are special purpose maritime border guards. We carry out tasks both at sea and at land. It is vital to be professional. If a Marine studied and trained well, then he has a chance to successfully fulfill his assignment.
Дуже добре вчився, тренувався. В нього є всі шанси, 100% шансів успішно виконати бойове завдання.
Candidates for the Police Special Forces unit must be trained in accordance with international standards. The Cord unit is the elite unit within the Ukraine State Police.
Боец Корда – это сотрудник, который стрессоустойчивый, который...
A Cord fighter is stress-resistant. They know how to handle automatic weapons and have tactical skills.
Который знает свою работу и ответственен за свой сектор.
The candidates were carefully selected and then tested by representatives from America.
Общие критерии отбора, то есть мы начинали с физической подготовки, это был у нас...
The general selection criteria is the Cooper test, which special divisions around the world have to pass. Then there is the firing range test. Only after they have passed those two tests do we let them take the 5-day survival course.
Мы их допускали до прохождения 5-дневного курса так называемого выживания.
At every stage of the various tests and inspections, everyone must prove that they are worthy of the honor to serve in this special unit. The basic criteria forms the basis of our selection. Recruits need to be able to assess the situation soberly and strike while the moment presents itself. This is how we can determine who stays and who doesn't. The training is not easy. Many candidates dropped out exactly at this stage. A 50-kilometer march in full gear, spending the night in the woods, an obstacle course, all have to be overcome by professional special forces soldiers. After that is the last test. It is considered the most unusual and decisive, the polygraph test. This is something new for our country. Before, there were similar polygraph examinations during the selection process for only some special forces soldiers. But this is the first time it has been taking place on such a massive scale. High morals and professionalism are particularly important for a good fighter. Inability and desire to work in a team, make their own decisions in extreme situations, and communicate with colleagues are absolutely necessary. All special forces units pay particular attention to these skill sets. Soldiers must trust each other. That is very important for us. Our task is to teach them how to trust.
Вот это наша задача – учить, предотвращать, настраивать.
Враховуючи те, що ми постійно працюємо в бойових групах, рівень довіри, я вважаю, що
We are constantly working in combat groups. I believe our level of trust is the most important aspect because we need to know each other, our thoughts, and the mood of everyone, and what they can do. We need to work as one big team. A special unit is a uniform mechanism. Everyone must act in a particular way so they don't bring harm to their teammates. There isn't always an opportunity to give a command or a signal. Members of a group must understand each other, their every gesture, glance and word, and act accordingly to the situation. The situation is constantly changing, and they have to act fast.
Моментально. И действовать нам нужно в предельно сжатое время.
The team works as all as one. They are uniform. The fighters take risks in order to accomplish the combat mission. If you are alone, you do your job and leave. But when there is a unit of 20 or 30 people, each person is responsible for themselves and the team. Any mistake of a single soldier affects the entire team. So working as a team is the only way to work. Marksmanship training, explosives, vehicle maneuverability, and deterrence tactics, as well as medical skills and many other traits are required for a Special Forces soldier.
Идеальный боец подразделения КОРТ – это человек, в первую очередь, который готов.
A perfect Special Forces soldier is the one who is ready to make decisions in critical situations and think fast. He who is developed physically and mentally and is good at firing weapons.
Как физически, психологически, ну и хорошо владеет оружием.
There are units that must be able to stop speedboats, save hostages, and destroy terrorists. There are no impossible tasks for special forces. The only thing that could result is a mission failure. The only thing that could result in a mission failure is death. Any special forces mission carries a risk. Unfortunately, that risk is death. Human life is priceless. The most important test of acquired knowledge and skills is combat. They say that during war, one cannot be untrustworthy. When you are in a trench, you worry for your soldiers, that nothing bad can happen to them. It is terrible when they are wounded and you do not have to worry about them. Anything can happen, but we fight against fear. A strong spirit is much more important than physical strength.
Сильний духом, навіть більше, ніж сильний фізично.
Special Forces servicemen undergo intensive training every day of every week. We must see the goal and understand what we are doing this for. Also, hard daily training is the best way to sweat a lot, then bleed afterwards. That is my motto. Just push yourself in some moments to make it easier for yourself later. Parachute jumps and swimming in cold water is not difficult for Marines. As for marksmanship, they never miss their targets. Mobile border guard units are also just as skilled. Their school and training centers are extremely professional.
Ну, в наш отряд попасть не так просто, надо пройти.
It is not that simple to get into our unit. A number of tests must be passed, both physical and psychological. Therefore, every soldier in this unit is psychologically stable and able to adapt to any type of work in the military and outside the military.
Высокая нервно-психическая устойчивость, которая адаптируется к любым условиям работы, социума и так далее.
They hone all their techniques to be automatic. Border guards work hard to become the first line of defense. Working as a team gives these men confidence that their comrades will have their back in the most desperate of situations.
Прикордонники наші вони виконують завдання в складі підрозділу.
Our border guards perform their duty as part of a division. It is often life-threatening, but it brings them together. I can say that the mobile border guard detachment is a true family for all our guys.
Мобільний прикордонний загін – це друга сім'я цих хлопців.
The servicemen featured in this program all have one common trait: to protect Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. It's these people who take up arms and risk their lives to defend Europe's eastern border from any major attack in the future.